recently you all got this ethos book, and I won't talk about that. I just want to reference something in it. One of the most easy and fun parts of that project was going through all of the many different talents that people have at Sociomantic. That was pretty much like a prerequisite for interviews. It's like, do you have a special ability or a hobby, or are you addicted to something? I think even Lars, I don't know, always used to say, like, could we go get a drink with the person? But anyways, there is a talent that I just found out about today, that we have a comic genius among us. So funny. It's not Gomesh. No, Gomesh is not that funny, actually. Dad jokes. No, so funny it's kind of dangerous, actually. And he's German. Weird, right? That's what I'm saying. Is that racist? It is? It's against our code of conduct, right? Okay, I retract my statement. And he is eloquent in the Deutsch language. It's better. Circumstantial, right? Okay. So without further ado, Mr. Hart. Hope I didn't hype you up too much.
No. You know, people always say when you're in sales, under promise, over deliver. Now, it can only be shit what I do now because I've been overhyped already. The only goal for me tonight is not to be fired by the end of this, so, you know. But that's why I'm not talking about Sociomantic. I'm just going to talk about how dumb I am to not offend anybody here. And that's easy enough. But just to give you a little bit of background why I'm standing here, it's not my fault. It's actually last Thursday, Robert, Eileen, and Chloe, all of us got pretty drunk, and I told some jokes, and they thought I was funny. And you know, you have a crowd that's drunk, and it's 4 o'clock at night. Of course, everything you say is funny. It's like, it doesn't take much. But you know, when you're really, really drunk, you get these ideas, and normally you have 2 things you normally go for. That's either a band or a bar. But imagine Robert and me in a boy band. He would Nicole Scherzinger me. I would be the Pussycat Dolls. He would be Nicole Scherzinger. He would drop me like a hot potato weeks in. Wouldn't work. And the bar, we already drink enough. You know, let's not touch that. But so basically, I joined Sociomantic a little bit more than a year ago. And I have to say, you know, we have great, amazing people here, driven, smart, intelligent. And I sit over there at the solutions desk, and I sometimes get the imposter syndrome. Have you ever heard that? A short definition is, you yourself know you're an idiot, but nobody else has figured it out yet. But looking back at when I figured out that I'm not the smartest guy around, actually there's a few early warning signs. So started when I was young. So back then my parents used to take me bike riding, and you know, when you're a little kid you can still care about your safety. So you have safety wheels, you have like a hat on, you're completely, nothing much can happen, you know, unless you do something really, really dumb. So imagine myself, you know, a small kid, this tall, you know, riding down the fieldway, everything is fine, you know, but my parents are slowly getting further and further away, so you get edgy. And then you have the slightest decline. So, you know, you get faster and faster. And I think, you know, you easily forget how small you are as a kid. But imagine me this tall, and riding my bike, and I get faster and faster, and I start pedaling, and slowly I lose control. So if you want to think about it in an image, let's say you take a poodle, and you take a leash, and tie it on the treadmill, and you slowly keep on increasing the speed. And the legs are... So at one point I was on there, and I knew, okay, I started to lose control. I was like, Alex, you're an adult. You're gonna get out of this alive, okay? This is the time, this is make or break. You're gonna do fine. So I started thinking, okay, you're going way too fast right now. Like, there's no way you can brake, because if you brake, you're gonna fall. So what do? It's like, yes, I didn't think of that. Duck and roll. Duck and roll it out, it's gonna be fine. So that's dumb enough already as is, but you know. So I was going down that fieldway. I had grass to my left and gravel to my right. Can you guess which side I chose?
Right side.
The gravel side, yes. Duck and roll on gravel. Smart kid. And this is, I think this is the first time my parents looked at each other and was like, honey, I think we may have raised an idiot. But the thing is, at least I always had an entrepreneurial drive, you know. I mean, respect to you, I didn't really make it that far. But I always, as a little kid, I really wanted to make it big in the business world. And the first mistake people always tell you about entrepreneurs, don't make it about the money. I was all about the money. 7 years old, I want to make some goddamn money, okay? So I started thinking business ideas. What do people always need? Food. What do you do? So I started rummaging through our house, and I found 6 oranges. I was like, the orange business looks good. That's what you're gonna do, get in the orange business. So what I did is I took a little box, a little plastic box, put the 6 oranges in there, and back then I lived in a cul-de-sac. So it was basically, you know, a quiet area. People walk by from time to time. So I sat down with this little box of oranges, 6 oranges in there, and sat down in the cul-de-sac, smiling at people. I was like, but nobody bought any oranges. I was sitting there for hours. It was sunny outside. You know, I was sitting there, and eventually my parents comes like, Alex, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, what does it look like? I'm selling oranges. I was like, have you ever thought about maybe putting up a sign, talking to people or anything? It's like, now imagine you're a walker by. Like, you walk by the cul-de-sac and you see like this little kid with a box of oranges. Like, it's like, yeah, he's probably proud of his oranges or whatever. I don't know what is. And even if you really want to buy oranges, you, as an adult, you won't walk up and like, hey, kid, what about like 1 or 2 of these oranges? Maybe make a good price. And I think at these moments, my parents knew, again, I was not the smartest kid. They put me in an integrative class. I don't know if anybody knows it, but an integrative class is where you have differently abled kids and normal kids. I'm kind of in between, I guess. I'm not sure, but the differently abled kids are supposed to learn to be integrated, and whereas the normal kids are supposed to be, like, you know, learn how to work with people from different backgrounds, study with them, anything. But I thought, you know, going in, you're probably not going to be the dumbest kid there. You're going to be fine, like middle ground, fly below the radar. But what people forget is kids are assholes. And the elementary school yard is a war zone. So, you know, I came in there again, said, okay, you know, stay in the middle, don't cause so much trouble. Flash forward, first week, I get beaten with a stick by a differently abled kid. On the face. And I don't know what I did wrong. I mean, I was a really nice kid. I was really, you know, I never did anything offensive, but and the thing is, it was not as much about the beating that was a terrible thing. I mean, he clearly whooped my ass. I had no chance. It was that this kid figured out how to use a weapon so much quicker than I did. I would have never thought about picking up a stick. I was like... Yeah, but I mean, that happened. So, but and the most important thing is that your family is supportive, you know, and that's and your parents and your siblings who stick together. And you know, I mean, I don't have any children, but I guess everybody here who's a parent knows that sometimes your kids, they draw something, they create something, whatever, they build something, and they go to, it's like, here, mom and dad, and you're like, it's kind of shit, but yeah, hey, you don't want to just like be mean. It's like, yeah, great, let's put it on the fridge, let's keep it there forever. You're a small Picasso. My parents were a little bit different. So basically what happened is, and that's actually the biggest project I've ever done for my parents, I really put my heart and soul into it. So one Christmas, I was 8 years old, I built my parents blocks. It always sounds terrible, doesn't it? But I built them blocks. So what I did is basically I went into the basement. We had this small handy shop down there, and I took 2 big blocks and I painted faces on them, put like stick arms into there. I spent hours, and you're like, you're a miniature artist. Like you're amazing. This is outstanding what you're doing here. And I gave it to my parents. And they're like, yeah, of course this is nice, looking at each other, you know, in the way that you don't see as a kid, but adults like, fuck, what do you say? What do we say now? I was like, you tried. I was super proud of that stuff. The thing is, though, again, I gave it to them on Christmas Eve. 2 days later, I show up to the Christmas room. You know, you have like best time of the year, little kid, everything is amazing, like Christmas, and the blocks are gone. It's like, Like, probably my parents loved them so much, I put them in their bedroom or something so I can look at it all the time. It's, I don't know, so I went around searching the entire house and I couldn't find them. I got confused and I talked to my parents. I was like, hey, Mom, Dad, where's my present for you? The thing that happened now, and that's again where I know that my parents don't think I'm really smart, they gave me the most half-assed lie ever. It's like, yeah, Alex, we lost them. It's like, what's the likely scenario here? Is it like Home Alone 2 and it took a plane to New York and you're in Florida? Like, how did you, what happened? And that's not even the bad thing. The bad thing is they kept this lie up consistently. I mean, you can say a lot of bad things about my parents, but they kept this lie up. So 15 years later, imagine me 20 years old, like, come on, like, what happens? Like, I don't know, like, somehow we know this block. But a few years ago, actually, rather recently, I actually said, okay, Mom, Dad, cut the bullshit, what happened? And they finally came clean. They finally came, because I thought, like, maybe on their deathbed they would tell me, but they did before. So what happened is they fired them up on the second day of Christmas. And I mean, looking back, being an adult, I can say it was shit. What I created was really bad. It was not nice. But what I object to is, my parents didn't even wait 48 hours to put it in the oven. It must have been such a slap in the face of how untalented I am. It's like, put this away. I cannot look at this. But later. But you know, my parents were a little bit weird, but at least I had like a good older brother and sister, so it's fine. But you know, I'm a middle child, and you know they always complain, like they always get the raw kind of deal. However, it's even worse for me because I have an older brother who was like this badass who could do whatever, and a younger sister. So you know, your brother kicks your ass, and your sister gets anything she wants. It's like, Dad, can I have a pony? Of course you can have a pony. So what happened is basically, you know, when you're a kid, you roughhouse, you try to test your boundaries, and I picked fights with my brother. I lost them. All of them. And at that point I was like, okay, you know what? You're gonna be the bitch of the family, it's fine. Just keep your head down, you're not gonna, like, don't say much, you're gonna do okay. And I don't know how familiar you are with the American prison system, but there's a thing called a pocket holder. So what happens is there's a person holding his pocket, putting his pocket out, and you'll hold it and just follow the person around, and he protects you. And this is pretty much a role I settled for. It's like, okay, you're fine. At least this way you're safe. Nothing can happen to you. But then my little sister was born. And you think, she's going to be a little rays of sunshine, a small girl, she cannot hurt anybody. And, yeah, you figure. My little sister has a criminal mind of Lex Luthor, or like a worse criminal. I just want to tell you one story about, as an example of how it was living with my little sister. I guess most of you have seen or watched or read Harry Potter, and you know Hermione Granger, you know, talking with this really nasal voice and saying stuff like, we could get killed or worse, expelled. So that was pretty much my system growing up. And you know, back then we didn't live in this multi-screen world. I guess half of you are on the phone like, when is this shit over? This is kind of boring. Instagram, Facebook. No, we had one television. So you had to actually coordinate what you're watching. The thing is, you think, okay, again, not the smartest kid, but he has size, you know, he's bigger. He's also has he's 4 years older, he can manage. He's gonna decide what you watch. No. So imagine a situation like, you know, I'm sitting there with my sister, just want to watch some Sailor Moon in peace, as every normal guy. And she turns around and looks at me, like, give me the remote, or I'll spit. And then what do? The first reaction, of course, I'm going to threaten. It's like, I'm going to punch you. But then she's like, no, I'm going to spit at you. And what do you do then? entertain me here for a second, think about it strategically. She spits, you punch, she cries, who's gonna get blamed? The guy with spit in his face, or the girl with who was just punched? 1 second, I just actually need to look up what's next. Oh yeah. It's actually my set list, yeah. It says, say something funny. Hasn't really worked so far. But just given what my sister's done to me, I have the highest respect for the parents here, because kids can be terrible, terrible people. But what often happens and this is the only thing I'm going to say about work, but I sit here, and everybody presents their baby to Tom. And I'm thinking what do you do now? It's look over, glance from a little bit in the back. You cannot do anything with kids. Kids poop, burp, and sleep. At least I can write good emails sometimes. So I have the highest respect, and that's, again, I never know what to do. What do you say then? And it's yeah, your baby is a 7 out of 10? Maybe even an 8? Maybe an 8. It's gonna grow up and do amazing things. It's super hot, not in a pedophile way, but super good looking baby. And that's the thing with a baby, baby is a lot of work, it's stress, you cannot just go to a baby and hey, listen, here's some beer, here's some nachos, here's a Netflix password, I'm gonna be back in 2 hours. Enjoy. And I'm a barely functioning adult myself, I'm wearing clean underwear and clean socks, and that's an achievement for me today. And I dressed myself completely, I assembled this outfit. Yep. Thank you. And this is pretty much how I end, because this is all you can expect from me tonight.